Welcome back to another Elmore Family adventure.
Woo!
Today we're going to be talking about some of the things we learned from our first time ever going to Disneyland in Anaheim, California.
Some things we learned and had to teach yourself.
Yeah, so we did a bunch of kind of preparing beforehand research. And, you can only do so much. You're going to learn a little bit along the way, and we sure did. So we kind of compiled some of the things. I don't know if we did remembered everything that kind of took us by surprise, but these are definitely some of the main things that we noticed, were surprised by, and just want to let everybody know, if you're planning a Disneyland trip, what to kind of expect along the way.
Start out with the major one that I felt was major for us was the waterworks at California. So we didn't know that you couldn't just like get up there and find a seat. You have to like reserve it.
And this is for like, I think it's called World of Color. It's the nighttime show for Disney's California Adventure.
Yeah, and they shoot the water up. It's beautiful. But so the first night we were there, we thought we could just walk up and find a seat
like you do with fireworks. You know, walk up, find a spot.
But you have to reserve it in the morning.
At I think it was noon.
Was it noon? It
was when it opened. It's like a virtual queue.
Yeah, so you get a virtual queue to get your spot. And then there's also, you could go to was it Storybook
or Storyteller's Cafe?
If you do dinner there, then that's the dinner. You can get the dinner show. That's part of the dinner there. The package
to do that.
But so the first night we were there, we didn't know that, so we tried to get. There are some spots you can sit, but it's way back.
Or it's on the bridge to Pixar Pier.
Yeah, and that
fills up quick.
Yeah, so as we were walking to get her spot, that was already filled. And then we got over there and they're like, well, you can do standby, but it's
they sent us they're like, go down there for standby. We walk all the way over there. They're like, no, it's full. You can try back the other way. We're like, okay, we're just going back and forth.
Yeah, so we ended up going back to the room that night, but we went back the second time. We booked it, and it was nice.
And it was easy during the day. It wasn't like you know how Rise of Resistance used to be, trying to get into that virtual queue where it's like you had to get it like really quick.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was. I did it right on the time because I was nervous that it was going to be that way, but it wasn't. There was quite a bit of room, but I would still recommend.
Within the first hour that it opens up, I recommend getting on that virtual queue.
Yeah, because it says like sections blue or yellow. It didn't give you an option between the two. It just tells you where you're gonna go.
Yeah.
So just a heads up, the World of Color is not like fireworks at Disneyland or Disney World where you can just walk up and kind of claim your spot.
Yeah.
You gotta get a virtual queue. And that's at least for 2023 going into 2024. Who knows if that'll change later, but it was definitely a surprise for us and one of the heavier ones.
So on that aspect of getting the virtual queue, make sure you download the Disneyland app.
Yes. The Disneyland app is separate from like the Disney World app.
Yeah.
Whole other app that you'll use for virtual queues.
You can see the times, waits, and things
wait
like
times.
that. Yeah.
That's also where you'll make mobile orders if that's something you want to do.
Yeah.
I wrote on the list that mobile orders are, I said mobile order supremacy is what I wrote on the notes. And I said that because there are so many spots, there's like a lot of quick services that it really is just quicker to mobile order. And you're going to want to do that, especially if you want to eat at Jolly Holiday, where they'll have seasonal treats and fun stuff like that. Of course, you can wait in the standby line, but that line in particular gets really long and some seasonal things will run out of stock. So on our first day at Disneyland, we were walking into the main area where you're about to check into the park, and I was mobile ordering for Jolly Holiday, and I made the pickup time 5 p.m. And I did that because we had plans for that morning, but I made sure that those special treats were still going to be available to us at that time.
Yeah. And so when we came back, we're here and boom. It was
Walk
ready.
up, grab your food.
It was ready.
So highly recommend mobile order.
It also worked really good at Toontown.
Cafe Daisy.
Yeah, the line was really long. She goes, well, let me just try to virtual order. She virtual ordered, said we're here, and they're like, you pick up. I'm like, man, we just bypassed all these people that were waiting in line. So that was really nice.
So sometimes, if a walk-up time may not be available until later in the day, and sometimes it's available right then, and it is so much faster than waiting in the line.
And then also, we did it at a couple other places. One place we'll talk about here in a second, San Fran, Tokyo.
Yeah.
We tried doing it. It was sold. It was like closed.
Yeah.
We got back on there, did it again. It opened up. We was able to get some stuff, and then it closed again. And it's
constantly updating. So don't get discouraged if you open it and it's not available.
Just log back on in a few minutes and try it again. Because like San Fran, Tokyo was just so busy. When they would get a spot open, they would open it back up. I mean, it was just really busy over there.
So we can go into our next point, which is don't go to San Francisco.
Don't go there
during, like, I guess
dinner time
or popular meal times.
Yes,
especially dinner time between like 5 and 7.
Yeah, it was.
Oh man,
it was so
brutal.
There's a lot of sitting places, but that place was packed. And there's a lot of food places in there, but every one of them was packed. But even though with it being packed, we were still able to get our little treats and stuff that we got.
If you watch our order,
watch our video.
Doing mobile order, and I will say, my mobile order took a lot longer than it normally takes. I know it was because it was busy, but even though I felt like I was waiting a long time, watching the standby line, like they were barely moving, and that's not to be like, it was slow, like, not to be on the cast members or anything. It was just so many people.
Yeah, it was just yeah. I mean, as somebody picked up, there would be 5 more people getting in line.
Yeah,
it was during dinner time is when we went, and it was just so packed in there. So,
and maybe we were being harsh on it because that was the first day, like when we found out about the water show roll.
Yeah.
It was right after we were like, okay, so we're not going to be able to see it tonight. Let's just go get some dinner and then go home or go back to the hotel. And then we got there and we're like,
So we was already frustrated, and then get over with Dad. It's like, oh my goodness.
So maybe if you go and you're like, it's not that bad. I don't know.
But I asked our cast members that like this. She says it's like this every dinner. Lunch gets kind of crowded, but dinner time is just, she said there's just so many people in here. Merchandise. Make sure you buy your merchandise before the parks close. Don't try to go into the places to buy your, like you saw it that morning. Go ahead and pick it up.
I think this is a good rule of thumb for any theme park or tourist destination. Don't wait until the end of the day to go into the
it stinks to carry stuff around, but they also have lockers there, so you can buy your stuff, go put it in a locker, and then carry out your day. Or you can carry it around. It just depends on what you buy. But trying to get it at the end of the day, it is crowded. There's people everywhere. It is just busy, busy, busy. I'm not blurry.
Okay.
Or maybe I'm blurry. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm burly. Maybe not blurry, but I'm burly. Maybe. But yeah, so buy your stuff. And then also another thing that we found out is if you're gonna buy something, you might want to buy it then, but when you see it, because it may not be there when you get back.
Yeah.
Or if you do get back, there may not be but a few, and people are fighting over them. But just go ahead and buy what you want and move on throughout your day. Because like I'm telling you, at nighttime when you're trying to leave,
it's packed.
Of course, we always say don't buy nothing, but we like to walk through there just to see what people are in there. And I'm like ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Feel the experience.
Yeah, I'm done with that experience. I'm ready to go. Try to get my stuff early.
Yeah. Let's talk about the beginning of your Disneyland trip. So when you are planning a trip, you're gonna have to pick which airport you want to go to. There's 3. I think it's LAX, which is in Los Angeles, the Long Beach Airport, and then there's one other one.
I forgot what the other one is.
There's one other. I'll put it on the bottom. But we chose Long Beach for our airport to arrive in, and it was pretty nice. It was very small, and you exit the plane on a ramp that's not covered, which was really interesting. And the only problem we had there was, of course, the day we arrive is the one day in California it decides to rain.
Oh yeah, it was raining.
So that stinks a little bit that it's mostly outside, so we had to walk through the rain and to get to our car, but
it wasn't that bad though.
No, and it's only about maybe a 30-minute drive to the closest hotels to Disneyland. So not a bad drive at all. And
I have a friend that goes to LAX, but LAX is just a huge airport, and I think he said it's 45 minutes. I'm not sure what he said, but it's just a bigger airport. You want to fly into a smaller one? I mean, I like where we went, Long Beach. That was nice. It was nice, and then going back to it, we flew out from there. It was nice too. So, and of course we went to the Good Partner Hotel?
Oh yeah, we did a Good Neighbor Hotel instead of a Disneyland hotel. Yeah. So Disneyland has 3 major resorts, and you know, they're all great. They're just all really expensive, at least for our budget. So we really enjoyed using the Good Neighbor options. We chose the Anaheim Hotel, and that one was about a 10 to 15 minute walk from the hotel to the main gates of Disneyland, which is about the same as the Disneyland hotels to the main gates. So you're walking about the same, unless you are in the Grand Californian, which has an entrance into California Adventure and to Downtown Disney.
But if you're going to Disneyland, you're still going to walk.
You're still going to walk. So.
And if you're at the Disneyland Hotel, you're on the other side of Downtown Disney. So you have to walk all the way through Downtown Disney to get to the park. So it was about the same.
You know, you stay in the Magic with those hotels, but you're going to walk about the same, and you're going to pay a lot more. So that was just something we noticed. We were like, okay, we're walking about the same, you know, not too bad.
Because we walked down to Disneyland Hotel the first day we were there and walked around it for a little bit. And then we also went to the California. We actually ate at the, what was it? Storytellers Cafe for lunch. And that was kind of neat. It's kind of neat that it just goes right out into the park. I mean, and then you go out the other way and it goes right out into Downtown Disney. So that was pretty. We did not make it over to the Pixar.
Yeah, that one I think is an extra bit of walking.
Yeah, we didn't make it to that one.
So yeah.
Maybe if we ever get to go back, we'll get to go over to that hotel.
Yeah, and check that out. Yeah. One really small tidbit is that they at Disneyland, they don't use regular Magic Bands. They've only recently started using Magic Band Plus, and there's a few interactive things you can do with that in around the park, and then also using it as your entrance into using it as your ticket. But for the most part, if you don't have a Magic Band Plus, just use your phone. That's all you have to do. Or if you're able to print your tickets out, obviously that's fine as well. But you know, you'll use your phone for everything, including that Disneyland app for your tickets there. So that was just a small thing.
Oh, and then with the fireworks, California has a rule, something about the wind or something. So don't get disappointed. Fireworks are a hit and miss due to the winds and stuff. First night we were there, we didn't get to do the fireworks, but they put on like a little show, a little animation
with music
and stuff,
and Snope, because it was Christmas time.
Yeah, it's Christmas time. But so we didn't get to do it the first night, but we went back 2 nights later and we got to see the fireworks. So that's the one thing that's different there, is because of California's rules with the wind or something, and it's because all the houses are right around. I mean, you're next to neighborhoods, so.
And don't let the whatever you feel the wind is like decide your, I guess, plans, because the night that it was canceled, we felt like there was barely any wind, and then we were feeling quite a bit of wind the second night, and we were like, oh man, it's not going to happen for us. We feel it. It's worse than the night, you know, the other night. But turns out it might be just like where the wind is in the atmosphere.
It might be the direction of the wind. So
they didn't.
So what we saw is, we didn't see it the first night, but the second night we were there, we saw them. They're on top of the buildings, and they have balloons. They'll release a balloon and they'll watch it, and that's how they were directing it. So the first night we didn't see that, but that night we did see them, and they were releasing the balloons, which way they were going.
Yeah.
And so it was pretty neat. It's like, well, does that mean we're gonna get it? And like the balloon was like, we're slowly rising. It wasn't blowing a whole lot up there. We felt wind down where we were at.
Yeah.
Up there it was just slowly rising. So I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a good night. So,
yeah.
Or at least I hope it was.
Yeah, we were like,
yeah, and we got to see them, so that was good. That was good.
It was a good time.
What else you got on our list of things to talk about? All
right, I feel like this is one of the more traumatic moments of the trip. It was our first ever, well, I guess, let me lead up to it. So usually with dining reservations and going into the park with with those dining reservations, a lot of the time, or at least we're used to being able to go in early.
At Disney World.
At Disney World. At least a little bit early. Maybe you don't get sat down at the restaurant, but they'll let you in the park early to get you go ahead and checked in into the restaurant. Disneyland, especially if you have Plaza Inn, I'm not sure about any others. I don't even know if there is dining inside the other parks.
I don't.
But for,
most of them are at the hotels.
Yeah, so for Plaza Inn, the breakfast, we had 8 a.m. the first time slot, and we were asking all the cast members, you know, where we go and if we get in early, and the bottom line is no, but there is a rope, like the, you know, rope drop that they hold in front of Plaza Inn.
Yeah.
And so we stood there, and then at 8 o'clock when everything opened up, that's when they'll let you go over to the side and line up to check in
They
for
tell you
your
exactly
breakfast.
where to go.
Yes. So you will not get in early for dining reservations. And then leading into that is that Plaza Inn has character breakfast. It's a buffet, and not a self-serve buffet, a buffet that they'll put the stuff on your plate and give it to you. But it is all you can eat, and there's characters. So we're used to characters coming kind of timed out, separate from each other. Usually there's kind of a theme, like Storyteller's Cafe. It's got your main Mickey, Minnie, Chip and Dale. But this, Plaza Inn, it has kind of the main characters, you know, and then like the mice from Cinderella, Tigger Pooh, and sometimes a surprise one. It's not consistent, which is fun. It could be fun, you know, never know who you're gonna get. But they came out practically all at the same time, it felt like.
They bombarded us. They just like one right after another after another, which, I mean, it's good. And then Minnie was outside taking pictures. So when they rushed us in that morning, well, we had to wait to get back in line as the people were coming in for breakfast after us. They were getting in line.
They put in line for Minnie to do that first.
Yeah, but Minnie wasn't ready when we first got there.
Right.
So we had to go back and do that, but that was nice. But yeah, you getting bombarded by characters.
I feel like we didn't sit down for 20 minutes.
Yeah, like we got a character, we went and started getting food, y'all got back, and then I hadn't even got my food yet, and characters were like coming. I went to go get my food. Tigger banged on the door.
Yeah, he scared Dad.
Scared me to death, and then he'd come out, and so I grabbed some food and came back, and so. But it was a really nice experience. If we get to do that, I would highly recommend that place. So.
And this is just so you know going into it. You know, if you get sat next to the door where they come out, you know, be ready. Yeah, they're coming.
They're coming. And a bunch of them's coming.
Yeah, if you get sat outside or maybe like on the, you know, a little bit further from the door where they enter and leave, maybe you'll have a little bit more time to kind of sit and relax. But
well, there was one that went outside, and I don't know why it kind of skipped us, but
Pluto? That one?
Yeah, it was Pluto. Pluto, it came out and like, I don't know, he
went straight outside or something.
Yeah, and that was the only one, like the only person we hadn't seen yet. It was like, so we told our waiter, hey, we want to see Pluto. And as soon as Pluto got done outside, he come right to our table. Yeah. So, because of course they're trying to get you out to get the next people in.
Right, right. So just so you know that, and there's not a whole lot of character dining in general too at Disneyland. So there's Plaza Inn for breakfast only. And then we have Storyteller's Cafe. I believe that's
at the California. That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
That's what I was going to ask. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Or is it brunch?
Or maybe it's brunch.
Brunch, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the Napa Rose, also at the Grand Californian. That one is princesses, I believe, on certain days. I think it's like on weekends. Yeah. Certain days for princesses. And then also Goofy's Kitchen, which Chef Goofy has the Fab Five, I believe, and it's very similar to Chef Mickey's over at the Contemporary Resort in Disney World.
Yeah, but if you like characters, don't worry, because when you get in the park, they were walking everywhere. They're everywhere. We missed several characters just because we were looking the other way, and they walked right behind us. Yep. And then Jack Sparrow came down, sat down, had some beignets with us. Was just
Genie went right by us while we were in line for Alice in Wonderland. Apparently, Peter and Wendy walked by me and Aubrey when we were trying to make a TikTok.
Yeah, they were doing a TikTok. And
so we were like doing this, and Dad was like, Peter and Wendy went right behind
I was trying to call them. They wouldn't answer my call. I was looking at them.
I was like, I'm trying to make a TikTok.
They were making a TikTok, but Peter and Wendy walked right behind them. And then I know there were several times that we turned around and there was like people walking. Yeah. And then we saw Geppetto several times.
Geppetto Aladdin was walking around.
Oh yeah, y'all saw Aladdin.
Mary Poppins had a whole show in front of the castle that we ran to catch a glimpse of. Man, there was just so many characters that just pop out.
Yeah, they're just walking around. And then, speaking of characters, if you're like me and you love Marvel, you just go sit at Pim's Kitchen and they come out one after another after another. We first walk up to Pim's Kitchen it's in California Park. So you walk up over to Pim's Kitchen, we're going to get breakfast. Here's Wasp and Ant-Man just walking
wandering.
Yeah. And then we saw so many characters over there. And then they do a little show there at Avengers Campus. We were there for the Christmas show. And then the Wakanda Warriors come out. There's a Doctor Strange show not too far away. So that
Guardians, they have a show.
Oh yeah, they have a little show right in front of the ride, right? Yeah, we got to see that. So yeah, there's characters everywhere.
And cavalcades.
Oh yeah.
California's got a cavalcade. I don't know if we saw any yet. We saw the main parade, the Christmas Day parade or Christmas time parade
at
Disneyland, but California had this little holiday cavalcade that we saw a few times.
Yeah, we saw that a few times, and then we saw the other holiday thing with Mickey and them and the people on those fast bikes. And
that's Feliz Navidad.
Oh yeah, they come on these bikes and they're like zooming by us. They got Mickey on the back. I'm like, I hope he holds on.
Hold on, Mickey.
But yeah, so don't worry if you don't book a character dining. There's plenty of characters.
Plenty of characters.
And then on your app, Disneyland app, you can find characters too. So
I will say I don't think that one's like super accurate, because especially if they're just wandering, I don't think it'll have.
They don't always post the wandering ones, but
if it's in a seated position, if they're in a certain position, they'll put the times up.
And then you can also ask cast members too. So they're pretty good about if they know people are coming out and stuff. So what else you got on your list there, Missy?
Let's see.
We had such fun at Disneyland.
We did. We learned a lot. We had a lot of fun.
We would like to go back. We don't know when we're going to go back.
Another thing with in regards to like restaurants, and you can mobile order for most counter service meals and snacks. But if there's a place that is a sit down or has a walk up wait list, or you can make reservations for, I would say that walk-up waitlists are a very good option. A lot of the places have the waitlist available, unlike Walt Disney World, where sometimes that you have to have a reservation if you want to eat there, like Chef Art Smith's Homecoming, or Be Our Guest, or Cinderella's Castle. Some of those really require a reservation multiple days in advance. And I think I would say, in my opinion, there's only one place that you really need a reservation for with Disneyland or Disneyland parks, and that's Lamplight Lounge in Disney's California Adventure. That one, they do take walk-ups sometimes, but it's really rare and hard to get in through the wait list. So I highly recommend a reservation there. But other than that, we had a lot of good luck with walk-up time or walk-up wait lists. We did Tortilla Joe's.
That's in downtown
Disney. We walked up to it's like the Italian restaurant. We went to their bar. We just did a walk-up to their bar.
Oh, yeah.
So that was really simple.
Yeah, and it was like walk-up. Tortilla Joe's was
about 20-minute wait.
20 minutes. The bar was like, it was like wait about 5 minutes maybe.
For someone to stand up.
Yeah. And then what else we have?
We did Carnation Cafe.
Oh yeah, Carnation
Disneyland.
Cafe. That was what, about 20 minutes?
I felt like it was fast.
I know that they said 20 though, but I don't think it was 20.
Yeah, it was really fast.
And that's a very good place to eat if you get a chance.
Highly recommend there.
And then there was another one.
We did Oga's.
Oga's Cantina, because we didn't think we'd get in there.
So sometimes, at least with Disney World, it's like really hard to get in there. And with Oga's, it was probably like 10, maybe 20-minute wait with like the check-in line. So once you're called on the app, you get in line. and that probably took another 10 minutes, and then we were walking in, and the best part of the whole deal, we got to sit down.
Yeah, we've been to Olga's at Disney World 3 times now, and had to stand every time. And we go into Disneyland, and they go right here to the seat, and we're like, what? We get to sit? Oh my goodness! So yeah, that was nice. That was real nice.
Yeah. So definitely walk up waitlist friendly.
Yeah.
Disneyland, at least with our experience.
Well, and also at the time we went.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. Like I said, this is our first time going. We went
November, mid-November,
middle of November,
right before
Thanksgiving. So crowds were just okay. They weren't that busy. I mean, they weren't that bad, but they weren't that slight either. I mean, there was a few rides we had to wait 45 minutes on. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, I mean, that was a good week. So I can't tell you about any other week except that week. But we covered everything we want to talk about.
We covered all the main points we wanted to hit with Disneyland.
So Disneyland, gave you our little tidbits of what we learned. For something else that you know that we don't know, let us know. Yeah. Because we did some. I mean, watch our videos, but we did some. We did the Pixar Lamplight Lounge. We did the Storytellers Cafe, and we got that the morning of. Yeah. We booked that the morning of, because I was trying to get the tickets to the water show. Yeah. And I didn't. That's the other thing. It's not lunch. I thought it was lunch, but it's only dinner. And so it was a good thing she had went ahead and booked the other one. And then like she did that. Was it Holly Jolly?
Oh yeah, the Jolly Holiday mobile order.
Yeah, doing that. She did that first thing that morning, and we came back at 5 o'clock, and her food was ready. That was awesome.
I was like,
we didn't miss out on anything.
Yeah, that was probably not the coolest thing I've ever done, but one of the things that I was really grateful we did, because when we walked in, they have like the cabinet where all the or the display case where all the standby line people order from, and then they have the side where all the mobile order stuff is, and so you can see that like there's only 3 gingerbread Mickeys left in the house, and they're over here waiting for other people to pick them up from mobile order. Yeah. So I was like, oh,
that was nice.
Yeah,
that was real nice. So, and then I think that's about it. And we rode almost every ride, and well, I can't say every ride, but we rode probably 80% of the rides at both parks. So if you want to hear more about our trip, and maybe if you want to hear our opinions about Walt Disney World versus Disneyland, let us know, because we for sure have some opinions. We have some opinions, that's for sure.
Some that Disney World wins, Disneyland wins. Yeah. So let us know. Comment down below if you want to see something like that. And
make sure you like and subscribe to our videos at Elmore Family Adventures. Woo!
And follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Elmore Family Adventures.
At Elmore Family Adventures. And we will see y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.